Here we go. Welcome to another episode of It's More Than Just Sports right here on the Solano College Sports Network. I'm your host, Myckena Guerrero, and today we are joined with veterans from the United States military, and I will have these guests introduce themselves. And to my left,
Samuel Haines.
And to my right,
Christina Cardenas.
Marisol Loaiza.
So you guys are here at Solano. How has the transition and enrollment been here? Was it easy? Was it difficult? What's that experience been like?
I think it was really easy for me. I got out a long time ago and I decided I wanted to go to school, but I didn't know where to start. So the first thing I went to was the Veterans Office in the admin building, and they told me what documents I needed to provide for them, which I did have. And I just submitted to them, and they did everything, and it was just really easy.
Was there a lot of documents that you guys had to fill out?
Yeah, they asked about, your DD-214, which is our separation papers, what we did in the military, trying to match you, if you can, with the appropriate degree that you're interested in. Make sure that you're a fit for it. At least for me, I'm doing vocational rehabilitation.
Okay.
Because I have a service-connected disability. The process for me was a lot more tedious. It wasn't near as easy as these guys is, but it was a great process.
And so are you guys able to apply what you learned from the military to what you're going to school for right now?
Yes. For me, my degree plan is public health. Right now it's a science degree, but when I transfer, it will be public health. And when I was in the military, my MOS was preventive medicine, which translates to public health. So.
Oh yeah, my major is nursing,
okay.
and so it's a really big help because I was a medic in the Army, and you learn a lot hands-on, more in the civilian world, I think, as a medic, and you could apply it to all your classes, and it just makes the whole process a lot easier.
So since you are nursing, do you have to be a part of the nursing program here, or do you already have certain things?
The prereqs for the nursing, I'm going for a transfer, so I went to the VA office, and they gave me a whole list of classes I need to take in order to transfer. Wow. And so once I complete that, I can transfer to the college of my choice, which is I'm applying to Sac State and Sonoma.
That's awesome.
But so far it's going pretty good.
And so are you guys able to use your GI Bill and other benefits that you have gotten from the military?
Yeah, I'm using my GI Bill right now, and it's been a big help with like bills and like other necessities that I have in like my life. So
have you been able to?
Yes, I took the GI Bill and I exhausted it completely.
Oh, okay.
They give you 48 months to use it. And then I went to, because I was in during 9/11, I got to use that. I exhausted it. And now because I was service connected, I get to use voc rehabilitation, and I'll exhaust it too. And I won't have anything left when I transfer out of here.
So you were deployed. Were you guys deployed to Southeast Asia as well?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I was deployed to Iraq in 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So it was a while ago.
Yeah.
For them, they've used their GI Bill already. I'm just starting with school, and I plan to go all the way up until my master's. So I haven't touched my GI Bill yet. I'm eligible, and I'll be able to use the voc rehab like he is, but right now I'm only using financial aid.
Okay.
And then once I transfer, I'll start using my military benefits.
And then so how long did you guys wait until you decided that you wanted to go to school?
I went maybe about 6 months after I got out of the military.
Okay.
And then I did all the paperwork and I got back into class. I was taking like the entry level classes, and so I was like 23 with a whole bunch of like high schoolers who just graduated. So it felt a little weird, but in the long run, it made me understand the class a little bit better. So
did you go to school and then come back?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what about you? Did you do the same thing?
I transferred. I went into the apprenticeship program for electrical.
Okay.
Pretty much right after I got out. I think it was like 4 months afterwards. And I used all my education, my GI Bill for that particular apprenticeship program, and it was a 5-year apprenticeship program. Once I got that done, then I entered college.
Yeah.
2014 is when I came into becoming, so 2003 to 14, I guess 7 years or so.
Oh wow.
Before I finally took the bullet and
got started.
Yeah.
And how has the process been getting your military units transferred over to Solano? Was that kind of hard, or?
My military units don't transfer.
Oh.
They won't transfer, well, they won't be looked at until I transfer to a 4-year college.
Okay.
And the courses that I've taken at other colleges, it's extensive. Like, some of them they're hazy about.
Okay.
So it's going to take a little while for them to decide whether or not they'll accept and what section they'll accept them in. And yeah, it's been a little rough. But like I said, my MOS, my military job, and my degree plan for my 4-year are the same, but right now they don't count for anything.
Oh, wow.
And so once I transfer to a UC, they'll decide whether or not they'll take them. If I transfer to a state, they would have already counted.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. What about
for me? It was pretty easy. They took 20% of my whatever I did in the military. They used it to apply for what I'm doing.
Okay.
For my degree of construction management. But other than that, it was pretty easy.
So how many units do you get in the military?
It varies.
It varies.
Yeah, because everyone's job, their training is a different length. So it depends on the length of your course and whether or not it's recognized.
So was there certain things you guys had to do on base to be able to get the units?
Not necessarily. A lot of people use what we call the CLEP test, where you can CLEP out of not having to do a certain thing like English and math and stuff like that. Most of us took that while we were in the military, so that we wouldn't have to worry about doing it here in the civilian world.
Okay.
And that made it a little bit easier, but trying to make sure that all those corresponded to what we were going to do out here is a little hard, because what I did in the military doesn't even rate what I do out here. You know, being in the Marine Corps, we do things that other people don't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Credits. PE credits, that's it.
Yeah, PE, that's all I got was PE credits. A lot of those.
And are there certain scholarships that you guys get for being in the military, and does that help?
I know here there's the Valero Benicia Scholarship that's available to continuing Solano students who were in the military, and it varies depending on your units, your financial needs, and whether or not you've exhausted your military benefits, your VA benefits, and your disabilities. So that's available. That's one that I've seen so far.
Have you guys been able to use any of those scholarships?
I haven't, because I make too much.
Okay.
I haven't even applied.
Oh, okay.
This is my first semester, so I haven't been eligible yet.
Oh, okay. Well, there's always time. For the second segment, we'll be talking about their experience here at Solano, and we'll be right back right after this.
If you have an interest in a career in sports broadcasting,
whether it's behind the scenes or on camera,
then this is the class for you.
Class is held every Wednesday from 1:30 to 4:30 in room 121 alongside the library building.
For more information, contact Greg Poff. That's me at solano.edu.
We hope to see you here next semester. And remember,
it's more than just sports. It's an education.
All right, we are back for the second segment now. We talked about the transition process and the enrollment process, but what has your experience been like being back here? And then for you, just starting.
Well, this is my first semester here at Solano, but before this, I took 2 semesters at Berkeley City College.
Okay.
And that's been my first year out of the military. And being here at Solano has been a lot less stressful than being there. And maybe that's due to commute, but even the enrollment process, like, I got really bad anxiety attacks there. So it's been very relaxing being
Is there a lot more people that attend that school rather than over here?
There's a lot. There's a lot more people there. And then I took night classes there, but there still seem to be a lot more younger people, a lot more inattentive people, and I got a lot less help, which was weird because they seemed to have a lot more resources, but it wasn't really the case.
Oh, wow.
So it was different.
Yeah. And what is your experience?
I found pretty much the same experience, because I too take night courses. I can't take day courses because of my day job, you know, but I've been pretty much taking night courses since I've started here.
That's good.
The transition for that portion of it has been pretty smooth. There's been some hiccups here and there with administration and getting, you know, my credits where they need to be, my classes where they need to be, and trying to get the VA to understand that, hey, you know, I'm trying to work too, and go to school is kind of difficult because they're not near as receptive, at least not for me anyway, towards, you know, what our needs are. You know, they say veteran, but sometimes it's just do what I tell you to do and not worry about it.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing, and that kind of gets on my nerves sometimes, and I have some pushback and kind of stuff. So, but other than
bite
that,
your tongue sometimes.
I have a hard time doing that sometimes too.
It's okay. Has it been nice for you to be able to choose like night classes, morning classes? Has it been easy with your schedule?
I think so. I mostly choose daytime schedules because I do take care of my nieces, my family, in the afternoons. So to be able to choose a wide variety in the daytime is perfect for me. So
now, are the teachers flexible with your active duty schedules and everything?
Yeah. For me, I just got out of the reserves. I served 15 years, and the teachers have just been very flexible. There's times when I have an assignment, they assign me to a station for about a week, and it just happens to be during finals week. I talk to my teachers, and they know I'm in the reserves. I have an assignment coming up. Is there any way I could take my final early? And then they're really like,
That's
really
nice.
Sure, yeah, you could take it. Just come over here, and they'll schedule time where you can take your final, and you're good to go, and I can go to my assignment, and it's okay.
And now for you, because you said that you got more anxiety at the UC Berkeley, so it's been like nice. The teachers have been better for you over here.
Yeah, it hasn't. I'm not reserved like she is. It's been more dealing with like because I was transitioning out, so a lot of VA appointments, getting settled and stuff. And while I'm unemployed, it seemed like I had less time than when I was in the military making all of these appointments. Being here, it was a lot easier to get all of that done, and the teachers seemed a lot more accommodating for what I needed to do.
Good. Have they been really flexible with you as well?
Yeah, I usually don't tell them that I was in the military.
Okay.
It kind of comes out in the persona. I don't know why, but it just kind of comes out.
Something about the demeanor.
Yeah. I do find it a little difficult dealing with the students here, though, because it's a younger crowd.
Okay.
Where, you know, I'm in my 40s and coming back to school, and it's a real tough transition for me anyway.
So have people not been that friendly, or like how?
No,
is that?
they're standoffish.
Oh,
at
really?
least what I've experienced so far with everybody. There's a few times that they'll come up and say something to me, but for the most part, you know, they're pretty much standoffish.
Yeah, I feel like here at Solano there's a big age variety, because we have like 14-year-olds, and then we have like I had someone that was actually in their 70s in one of my classes, so I feel like there's a big range. But what has it been? People have been friendly with you guys, or?
I feel like people have been friendly.
Or like welcoming, or just kind of.
Yeah, I've gotten like I said, the previous school, I never really made study groups or anything like that, and I have in most of my classes here, and that's been pretty good. And I'm a really antisocial person. Like I said, I have pretty bad anxiety, so that's been a big difference here. Is I've been able to do that here, and that's not the norm for me.
Well, that's good. Like you've been able to like overcome that.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And so what advice would you guys give to a veteran that wants to come back to school?
Apply early.
Apply early.
Make sure that all your classes and all your paperwork is in order before starting this process, because it does take a little bit of time. Make sure that your pay is in order, you know, for going up to the VA office, and make sure your stipends are where they need to be, the appropriate chapter that you are applying for, like the GI Bill and like that. Make sure that you're in the appropriate program that you need for you. Make sure that you know exactly what you want to do, because once you get into this, it's going to change a couple times.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel the frustration behind changing. They make it pretty easy here to swap back and forth, which I found, you know, really helpful for me. But for the most part, just make sure that your ducks are in the line, and you go to the VA office up here and make sure that, you know, all your paperwork's in order.
And they're really helpful.
Yeah, the VA here is really helpful. Amy, which is the counselor up there. She's pretty good. She's out right now, but her staff is phenomenal.
That's good. And is there anything that you guys regret not doing that you would tell someone, okay, you need to do this?
Yeah, other than getting your paperwork in order, make sure you study in class.
Okay.
If you don't pass a class, the VA will take your money, as I've done so. It happened before once. So make sure you study, pass your class, actually, and then everything will be good. And then just make sure you know what you're doing and have everything in order.
So what does a typical day look like for you guys, like your schedule-wise?
Ooh.
I run at 7:45. I leave my house to take my daughter to school. I come to class. After class, I study for like 30 minutes. Go pick her up by 11:20. Take her to my sister. Come back for another class. Study. So I'm running around
all day,
being chauffeur, being a student, being a mom. So it's constant back and forth for me.
I wake up my first class is at 8 o'clock.
Oh.
And so
here?
Yes, here.
Okay.
And so it's funny because I work night shift at my job, and so to get off of work and to go straight to class, it's very taxing. And then I have a 12 o'clock class, and then I have my 1 o'clock communications class.
Oh wow!
With Mr. Paul, and and so
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's a long days. It's long days, but it's been really fun, and I actually enjoyed this semester better than my other semesters. So.
And are you guys taking any summer classes?
I am.
Oh, you are taking.
Yeah, I'm too. I got a full load again.
Oh wow! In the summer. Oh wow!
I took 21 credits again.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
What class?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they allowed that.
Not for the summer. I didn't know that either. What classes are you taking?
I have algebra, or not algebra, calculus.
Oh wow!
I have my chemistry. I have English 1, and I have counting.
Counting. Oh wow! That's a really busy list. What about you?
I'm taking my medical terminology online and music, and I'm taking also the broadcasting class during the summer. Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll see you then. Yeah, and you should join, if you guys ever want to. It's a good class.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining me here today. It was a pleasure getting to know you all. This has been another episode of It's More Than Just Sports. I'm your host, Myckena Guerrero. Thank you all for supporting, and we'll see you next time.